Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Horror Hollywood Interviewing Series. And so today I have a special guest with us today. His name is Martin. He is a business person from Canada, and also he shares a love for sports. So, Mark, how are you doing today?
Very good. Yourself?
Well, I am doing wonderful with a couple cups of coffee and very excited and looking forward to you.
Thank
What are
you. I'm
you
I'm
thinking today?
honored and pleasure. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you. Is Canada at 7 p.m. right now?
I'm sorry. Is it?
In Canada, what time is it?
It's 7 o'clock p.m.
Okay. So I know that you are a businessman. You have multiple businesses. So can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Grew up here in Windsor my whole life. East Riverside. Played some travel baseball, travel hockey. A couple of guys that I played against turned pro hockey player, baseball player here and there. And basically grew up, playing a lot of sports and kept up playing hockey until this COVID thing hit, and so we've only gotten on the ice about 7 or 8 weeks. And some of the guys from our league, I've been in the same league for 26 years. It would have been 27. And regardless, no, I play hard, I work hard, and started a heating cooling business about 16 years ago in 1985. And it's wearing my body out quite hard. And just it's I've had enough. So I was going to get into some steel insulated siding, some other construction stuff, and went to the Vegas show in January of last year, the North American Home Builders Show, and with a friend of mine, and then decided to. Well, we had to wait because of COVID hitting. We couldn't get any,
Everybody has to wait right
So
now,
it
right?
was it was a crazy year that just went from this way to that way to the sideways, and you're just making do with what we can. So I saw this through a friend of mine's Facebook, this pyramid vodka, and I started looking at it a little more, and then he contacted me. I had seen it, and all of a sudden, I just said, well, is there any room for anybody to help out with this? And sure enough, a friend of mine, Sebastian, just said, here, let's get a phone call in with Sam Gold, who's, is his kind of Facebook name.
Okay.
And we had a 2-hour conversation to start, and we kind of hit pretty well all the bases right off
I
the
would
bat.
like to make a pause here because I know that you are a very multifaceted type of personality. You enjoy a variety of sports all the way. I know that hockey is perhaps your first love, but you also scuba diving
Yes.
and
Yep.
um,
Yep.
one that side of you on sports is you can share your love and passion for that, but also in the business side you have your air conditioning company, and
Hmm.
so now you're exploring into a brand of vodka during COVID. So how the COVID impacted your business right now?
It's pretty slow as far as people not. We're in total lockdown. We're under a curfew right now in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and you're not supposed to be out on the street. My son was going to come and grab some tools from me and got stopped twice in about 3 blocks. Yeah, it's a little serious. At the end of the day, it's slowed a lot of people down. We're just kind of hunkering down and trying to make do and feed yourself and relax. I have no TV in my house. I haven't put a TV on in 5.5 months, and it was too much. I was getting five,
Yeah.
6 hours a day, and I was starting to yell at the TV at one point back in March. I emailed the WHO, the Surgeon General, our health minister, talked to the Prime Minister's office.
Sure.
I was yelling at him before the masks even came out. I just couldn't understand that there's common sense to this. But at the end
It's
of the
not,
day,
it's quite
these other, yeah, yeah,
different opinions, and people feel
sure,
overwhelmed,
sure,
and it's
sure,
affecting
yeah,
people in different ways. One of the
hmm hmm
things that you mentioned is that your business opened since 1985, and so
No,
it
I've
has,
been sorry. Pardon me. Sorry, I'll
yeah.
just interject. I have been in business. I started in the business of heating and cooling at St. Clair College in 1986. I got done. So yeah, I've only been in the business, like running my own, for 16 years. Sorry,
So
just to
during,
clarify.
well, thank you so much. So during
Yeah, yeah.
these 16 years, have you ever experienced such an impact like COVID affecting your business? Because this might be
Not even.
some.
Yeah, no.
So would you say that this is the hardest part in your career as a business owner to have to deal with
Absolutely.
COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
How do you
absolutely.
overcome those
Yeah.
challenges? How did you
I've managed to
overcome these
survive. Yeah,
challenges?
yeah. Well, basically over the years, I bought a house, and then I bought another house, and I bought a third house, and I've got some income properties. So I've been able to not have to need as much income. And then, circumstances allowed me to sell one of my properties. So I have some money to invest in this project. I call it an epic empire that Mr. Sam Gold has created, that I'm going to help build, if at all possible.
Well, tell us a little bit about this, Brent. Why did you decide to start a new type of business, such as this bulk cap brand?
Well, I don't drink. I haven't drank in 27 years. Now, it was just like 2 beers and a hangover. It was useless. I couldn't drink. And it's not like that I chose it. It chose me. As soon as I saw what it was, the pyramid itself just lured me right in and drew me into. And then I saw the clear bottle, and then I saw the amber bottle. And as soon as I knew it had ginseng infused, the one blend, and then the amber stones with 3 stones in it, I just thought that there's nobody that has this. I call it a trifecta. You've basically hit every nail on the head as hard as you could, and it's just perfect. And it sells itself. And then I, did some research on Zolotorozh plant, where the distillery is in Ukraine. And I found, and I watched it about 2 or 3 times. I said to myself, this is some of the best vodka in the world. And then I heard the price, and that was it. I just thought there's price, there's the bottles, the look, and then the quality, what's inside. So you have something that cannot, in my estimation, fall and not be perfect. I could not see any way of perfecting it anymore.
So is this a new brand that you want to start working on and offer to your audience, or build an audience for this?
Absolutely. We're in the pre-launch stage. So I've been sort of chosen or asked to be the importer. So I've started the import company. As a matter of fact, just paid the deposit on my portion today. It's been COVID's even taken over the banking situation. So, we're Sam's words are slow and steady. He has a script. We're listening to it. There's each part of the puzzle. There's 5 of us main characters. One's been with one's been with the project for 5 years. So this isn't just, and I've only been in it for 2 months. So I'm really new.
I would like to ask you, most people, especially in business, and right now during the COVID time, they perhaps will say, I don't want to start a business. I don't think that perhaps this is the right moment that I'm gonna launch a new brand or a new company. Why did you decide to start a new brand?
I actually started another one. It was a nonprofit. It was called bandanaman.org, and I basically bought 1,000 pieces of material, and we couldn't even get it from New York. Nothing was getting shipped out, and I basically had a whole bunch of sayings, about 6 or 7 different sayings, like FUCV19. I had cover it up with an arrow, and there's a bunch of them. There's actually a couple in the background. Virus be gone, with a virus on it. And I was going to sell them just for above the main amount of producing them. It was more of a donation to society to me. It was just to do the right thing. I lost money on it. It didn't fly because everybody else came out with 8 million masks and you name it come out within a month, and the air conditioning business hit, and I was pretty busy for in the summer. So I took a loss, in the end, it was the right thing to do. And I made beanies for the healthcare workers. I sewed them up by hand. I had other sewers working with me. I joined a bunch of sewing groups. Believe it or not, the HVAC guy with the rough hands, I still have a knack for sewing, and I've sewed a whole bunch of things. But this anybody that wants to start a business, if diversifying. Anybody that has a business, say that it's really getting ahead. I mean, we all have to try to figure out a way to just scrape by and either keep that business going, or if you see something else that's coming, have maybe some friends get together and try to. I am telling all my friends right now, I'm saying, look, give me ideas and we can all, help each other and be a beneficiary to the growth of the business. And
are you looking for partners right now?
No. I'm not looking, because I'm just an importer. I will be just handling the orders from, the liquor control boards. Ontario has the LCBO, who, when they get the product in, then they will, be putting in the orders, how much they receive the feedback, right, from their customers. So we're bringing in X amount of, a few thousand. And when that goes, how fast it goes, depending on, the speed and the reaction of the public, then we're going to gauge on, whether we need one full container, two full containers, 3,500 to 7,000 is the bottle count, depending on which size container.
Is there a frame time when we will see this brand in the US?
We're hoping within the month. We're hopeful. I would not be able to make any promises with COVID. It's just not possible. I can't get furnaces right now from my supplier, certain days of the week. So we don't know. We're very, very hopeful by, in sometime in February is kind of the word, and when it comes, it comes. It's going
it will
to
be
make
wonderful if it can come in February, because it's a Valentine's Day.
I know you're reading my mind. I was allowing you to pull that out and throw that in. I was hoping you would. I left it alone. I said that's the hope for sure, because it's a big but the thing is, we have to get out of this lockdown, and so Valentine's Day is not going to be much of a Valentine's Day per se of people are just going to get drinking at home, I guess. But
that can be an interesting business. You can. I know there is some wineries that they send the bottles of wine to the virtual lounge parties, virtual lounge party, and everybody drinks.
A Zoom drinking party. We'll have a Zoom drinking party. Okay, everybody hit the shot right here. Shot time.
Well, why not? So we're thinking outside the box, and I know that you are trying different things, and I seen some of the stuff with your air and conditioner business, and a lot of people doesn't know much about, like, for example, AC, but AC was one of the main parts in society that allow towns to grow and open more businesses, especially if the areas were too hot or too cold. And so for example, thanks to AC, in Texas was a big development for a lot of people to grow. Yep. So I think it's a really good business.
Absolutely. I've loved it. I've loved helping people. I've loved, I wouldn't, rip one person, for $1. It's the end of the day. I've had, enough physical work. I want to work out and go, Ishinru karate training, which I just took up with a fellow, Hanshi that's been doing it for 52 years, and he's struggling. There's a lot of struggles going on between gyms.
Well, going back to sports a little bit, what is your favorite sports? I mean, you do the.
I'm a hockey. I'm a hockey fanatic. Yes. I've been a defenseman all my life. I block shots, and people look at me like I'm cuckoo. And I'm well, on the ice. I am. I can't stop what I was born to do, because I was a baseball catcher and I blocked the ball in catching. So that's what I do on the ice. I do it with the puck, and I haven't been hurt yet. Not knock on some kind of fake wood, I guess, my desk. But regardless, I play hard. I play hard.
Yeah.
I work hard. I try to love as hard as I can to people. I've been throwing out, things for people that need it. It's, if I pray at night, I don't pray for me. I don't need anything. You know what I mean? I'm happy. I want other people to be happy if I can share it. That's, I guess, the gist of it, And
Well, talking about sharing, I know that you also like to write poetry, and you have some poem you would
yes,
like
yeah.
to share with us.
I did a little poem on the last podcast, and I shortened it up a bit. It's called "Sky is the Limit," and it's kind of fitting for what's going on right now. So it goes like this: We all can dream, some big, some small, and some in between. Maybe of becoming a doctor, a knight, a Viking, a king or a queen, a prince or a princess. Some days life kicks all of us, the rich, the poor, or even your neighbor next door. I've learned to rise above that which I could not live with and leave your marks in history, as we all do in this life's great mystery. The mystery of how we could take advantage of each opportunity in each day and its 86,400 seconds in it. Just hold on to those dreams. When troubled waters try to make you drown, stand up, look all around, and step upon some solid ground. Be patient, be kind and loving, and forgiving, as if from some fine French or Italian vineyards vine. Hard one to get out. Not enough practice, maybe. Create your own light from within. Believe in it, follow it, and work it. Open that door to the light, por favor. Por favor, open your own door and see what's in store, maybe forevermore. Amen and peace to us all is my favorite. And then as sky is the limit, or is it? That's kind of my little try at poetry. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everything you do, and same with Halas. There's a lot of good coming out of some of these little events that we can throw out to people, and I praise you and your work and your contributions to giving people hope, and it's a good thing. It's a really, really good thing. It makes me and my heart smile, so I hope it makes other people's. And that's all I try to do is just.
Well, you are very kind, and I think that's,
you're welcome.
This interview, I hope they inspire other people that find some motivation like yourself. Instead of closing business, open business. Instead of saying no and we can't, you're looking for a way to innovate and offer something new. So.
Right.
What would be your suggestions right now for business owners? They are having a difficult time.
Boy, it's so different in every sort of locality. Every local's got different issues. Have the people been safer? Have they had less of the bug come to them? We all have to fight this together. That's the point. And it has been difficult to pull people together because there was so much opposition of the unknown. We weren't giving the proper messages out for a long time, and unfortunately that's come back to bite us all now that more and more cases got out. So for a business, let's get back to that instead of the issue of it's hopefully that their governments, their locals, our government's helping us. We're allowed to get business loans and only pay back 2/3. Apply for it, get it. I'm helping my Hanshi out. I'm planning on being a co-investor and doing some things with him. Although you got to help your friends have to help you. You have to help your friends one way or another, and that's I think a lot of survival techniques of what we did in the past history over hundreds of years and thousands of years. You sometimes had to lean on people that you didn't plan on it, but you have to. And we're humbling, people sometimes.
I think that you touch a very important point about handling, because the business world, people is kind of, I do my thing, you do your thing. Yeah,
no,
if your competitor is like, well, you are my competitor, I'm not working with you. And I think that this a scenario of COVID, it kind of
Hmm.
brought everyone together
Hmm.
because
Many,
now
many, many.
is like, hey, let's see what we can do, how we can share our business.
Yes,
Other
yes,
things
yes.
is like through social media networking
Correct.
and different
Yeah,
groups. And what are
yeah.
you doing? Like you just mentioned, you joined several groups for sewing, perhaps something that you didn't have experience before. And now you as an
Oh,
entrepreneur, as a
absolutely,
business
absolutely.
person, you wanted
I hadn't.
to
Yeah, yeah,
find a way how you
yeah.
can help the community and also how you
Absolutely.
can make other business. But what you will and now for the business people, they also need some moral support. What will be your message?
Ask for it. If it's the neighbor, if it's if it's your community. Sam has gone around to businesses in his community in England, and said, this one's struggling. Now you go and help this person now, because it's important that he survives, because if he doesn't survive, then it's not a community anymore. It's broken. You have to keep the community together as best you can, together. My
Yes,
father always said, if
absolutely.
I don't get a job, that means that other company's feeding their workers, and I'm okay. I've got enough. I'm not that greedy. I have the 16 slices of pizza in front of me. I'll need 2 or 4 depending on how hungry I am. But I have a lot of extra. I've either a 12 or 10 slices left over, whatever it is at the end of that meal. What am I going to do with the extra? I'm going to give some away for sure. Some to charity, some to the people next door, some to the government. But
Especially the
unfortunately,
government
they're
with the
stealing.
high taxes, right?
they're stealing our pizza too, but whatever.
Well,
Yeah,
as long as we can continue moving forward,
that
um,
is it. And helping each other.
yes, I think that,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I see a lot
Hmm.
now too, because you are in Canada, then you work with
Hmm.
people based in another different countries, and so now is we don't know how long we're going to be in this situation with COVID, and so it's important. I believe that people such as yourself are encouraging other business people to network, to find help, to say, hey, let's do it now. I really
Yeah.
love what you just say. Let's do it now because yesterday doesn't exist, doesn't happen.
No, no, it
So what
doesn't.
is
No.
happening right now is like
Yeah.
we do it today. And so I understand that because one thing that we
Hmm.
do at Heart of Hollywood with support talent, we like to share things, but and
Hmm.
then it has been very difficult during these
Hmm.
times to promote things, even because
Hmm.
emotionally people is struggling, is going through different things. But I believe your message and your poem, it was very beautiful, in a way to the sky is the limit. Just go and do it. So,
Hmm.
Mark, would you mind to share a little bit about when you was before you were in business?
Before I was in business, I worked for other heating and cooling companies, and then I got tired of just not, I guess, being appreciated or whatever. And my father's business was getting busier. He's busier. He has a cross-border courier business into Dearborn, Michigan. So I started to drive tractor trailer for a few years, and still did the heating and cooling on the side. And then eventually it was things had slowed down from certain circumstances that happened in the world events, and so it wasn't busy enough. And kind of things happen with a family kind of split with the kid's mother and whatnot. But so I have 4 kids too, oldest daughter, son, and then 2 daughters, and they're all out of the house. My youngest is in BC. My second youngest had a kidney transplant in 2012, which actually has led me into this situation, because I became a Shriner to help the kids post the transplant. I had to give back because we don't pay for the health care. Well, we do in our taxes, but I had to give, and it basically led me into these other groups. And basically I found even organ and tissue donation through a Windsor Essex Gift of Life. I even put myself on the donor list for a kidney liver transplant availability at one point in about 5 years ago. It was from a Saturday night hockey event that Don Cherry and Ron McLean had posted up. And but that's me. I'm not anything special. It's just what I do. I try to help if I can, and if I'm healthy, I'll help wherever it is possible. And if it's the neighbor, if it's this, if it's that, if it's a business, it's in me to give. That's the bottom line, you know. And I don't want things in return. I don't expect them. It's not. I feel good enough giving, and at the end of the day, I'm tired. I sleep real well.
Well, I think that is the best part, that you can go and just, go and have a good dream. And
Sure.
well, I would like to ask you if there is something else that you would like to share with our Heart of Hollywood audience. Um,
Breathe. Everybody just breathe. Get out, walk. You know, I am a little bit upset with this stay at home. No, you have to get out and breathe. You have to get fresh air. This locking people in the houses is horrible for us. You have to get the sun. You have to get the dopamine. You have to get the sun in your face. I've ridden the motorcycle when it was 40 degrees out just a couple of days ago. You know, I'm getting every day I can on the Harley Davidson to get my freedom. You know, just put the music on, get out, do a 2-hour ride, and just breathe. I mean, that's a cleansing of the mind and the soul to me. And it's, if you don't have a bike and you don't want to, or it's too cold, walk, get out and walk. People, we're not having any health issue benefits by staying in. So, and, I also have another part of the heating business, which is called the Hydroxyl Generators, which I'm going to hopefully promote on another, podcast, which is basically, it's an air purification system indoors, and it cleans everything from black mold to the coronavirus, everything. It disinfects your house without a doubt. And it's purico.com.
We hope that we can hear a little bit more.
Yeah.
Later.
Yes, another day.
And
yes.
As long as people take the time, 5 minutes to walk or something, obviously it's following the safety guidelines, I think they will be great, because you're right, it's hard to stay at home. It's hard to kind of just sit in the four walls. It is, especially for people that is not like to go outside and all that. But I think that we can all work together, and this will pass eventually. But
we're getting there. We have the vaccines out, and it's the light is at the end of the tunnel. We just have to just keep pushing. It's called us in Japanese. It's to push through. In the Japanese, in the Ishinru karate training, we call it us, OSU, us, and that's the push through thing. You have to. There's no can't and QUIT. I don't even say the word as much as I can. It doesn't exist. You have to. It's our survival technique, right? Our internal, animal instinct.
I think that I would like to keep that you say. You can't doesn't exist. So you just leave it as that for all the Heart of Hollywood audience that is watching this interview. Well, just for
and
Mark,
I appreciate it. Yes.
You can't do it. So, and you can't.
Everybody can do it.
Yes, absolutely. Mark, it was wonderful to have you here today with us, and hope to see you again very soon. But I wish you my best in your new brand for vodka and all your other businesses. And thank you so much again.
Thank you, and praise you too. And blessings to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.